Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to be making a ghost Halloween wreath. Look at this awesome attachment. Comes with a sign. This is a kit from DesignerDIY. This one comes with 2 bolts of mesh. You have the wreath attachment. There are 9 different wired ribbons. You have your wreath form, and then it came with a sign. I went ahead and added these little mounting square hooks onto the back and then attach some wire because it's going to be kind of centered on my wreath. So if you have a sign, it's hard to tell on the camera, but I attach the mounting square and then I put glue around the edges so it stays on better. Yeah. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is cutting my mesh. I have 2 bolts of 10-inch mesh. I'm going to be cutting it into 10-inch pieces. And then the ribbon, all of the ribbon, I'm going to be cutting into 12-inch pieces, and then I'm going to be fray checking the edges. All of our kits come with a bottle of Fray Check. We also sell it individually on our site. So if you want to get your supplies, you can pick out your own supplies or you can order one of our kits, but it's shopdesignerdiy.com. So I'm going to go ahead and start cutting everything, and then I will be back. So I have all of my mesh cut, 10-inch pieces of 10-inch mesh, 10 and 10. And for this wreath, we're going to start with this back bigger ring. Kind of open the little pegs up so it's easier. And each peg is going to get 3 pieces of mesh, and we're going to alternate the patterns. So the first one I'm going to do is going to have 2 of the Halloween stripe with a solid black. And then the next peg over would have 2 black with 1 stripe. And then 2 stripe, 1 black, 2 black, 1 stripe. And you're just going to alternate as you go around the wreath. So the one that you have 2 of, I kind of keep them rolled. You don't want to roll them tightly. Kind of just how it naturally wants to come off of the roll. You take the 2, you make an X. I usually do seam side down. You make your X, the single color goes up and down in the middle, and then from side to side, you just fold. Just like that. And then I'm just gonna stick it like horizontally across. Move this up a little bit. And it's just gonna go right in here. You're just gonna twist like a twist tie. So give it a couple twists, and then we're gonna go on to this next peg, and it's gonna be 2 of the black mesh with 1 stripe. So I'm going to make my X. The single color goes up and down in the middle. And then from side to side, we're going to fold, stick it right next to that previous grouping, push it down. You want to do this pretty snug. You don't want the mesh to like flip-flop on the wreath. And then we go to the next peg, and we're going to do the same pattern as we started with the 2 stripe and 1 black. We're going to do this all the way around the back ring. Inch. Make sure to click like and subscribe if you want to see more videos. You can leave me some comments. Alright, make an X. This goes up and down, fold. At this moment that I'm recording, we have 3 of these ghost wreath kits left available. So if you're watching this right after I'm posting, hurry and go get a kit. There's only 3. We also have so many other kits to choose from. Every holiday we have some great like everyday all year round type of wreath kits. We have a couple different types, some that come with like just a sign with it, some come with picks instead. Let me know if there's a different type of wreath kit that you would like to see us offer. I'm always looking for new ideas. Make an X, this one in. So I'm going to just keep doing this all the way until the back ring is filled in. And just like that, I have the back ring filled. So this rolled mesh technique I love doing because the cut edge of your mesh is not exposed. So this won't like fray and unravel. All the nice edges are what is showing. So it should last pretty long if you take care of it. So I filled in the back. We're gonna move on to the front smaller ring here. So I opened up all these pine branches so they're easy to get to. And you're gonna continue doing the exact same thing that we were already doing. And it doesn't matter which pattern you start with or where. You just do whatever you want. So I'm gonna do 2 stripes with 1 black piece. And you're just gonna stick it right on. Give it a twist. After I add on all the mesh, I'm going to be adding ribbon right onto here, so I kind of just leave it opened up and ready, so it makes it easier to just add the ribbon directly in. So that was 2 stripes with 1 black. So the next one's going to be 2 black with 1 stripe. This is a very easy technique, so you definitely do not have to have crazy wreath making skills to be able to put one of these together. Twist it on. Go to the next one. Snagging on my ribbon. Set that out of the way. Alright, so I'm just going to clean up the roll a little bit. And I am going to just keep going until every one of these top pegs is filled in. Once it's filled in, we are going to do the ribbon step. So yeah, just keep putting your mesh in. Here is the wreath. All the mesh is in. It's getting fuller and fuller. All right, so the next step is going to be ribbon, and we're going to be adding it right on top of that last ring that we did, the top ring. So each of our kits, they come with 9 different ribbons, and we pre-group them in groups of 3s for you so you know which ones go together. That way you don't end up with all of the same color in a grouping. We kind of divide up our colors, our patterns. This one is awesome. It's hard to tell on the camera because of the lighting, but it's a lime green with purple glitter swirls and then a black like glitter speck all over. Just awesome. Okay, so you are gonna start with 1 grouping, and I cut my ribbons into 12-inch pieces, okay? The mesh was 10 inches, ribbon is 12 inches. I kept the ends straight, but you can totally do the little V-cut, dovetail cut. It's up to you, it doesn't matter, whatever you'd like to do. So, like I said, each grouping has 3 pieces of ribbon, and you're gonna lay it out the same way we did the mesh. So you pick 2 and do an X, 1 goes up and down in the middle, and instead of just folding in half like we did the mesh, I'm gonna kind of gather it, like up, down, to get it nice and small. Just like that. And I'm just gonna pick a peg, doesn't matter where, and you stick it on, twist, and then I tuck the remaining peg under, so it's not like a chunk of black right there. So, fluff it up a little bit, go on to the next grouping, and I'm gonna take 1 of each of the second group of ribbon, like A, B, C. We're gonna go around A, B, C, A, B, C, alternating until it's all filled in. I'm gonna make an X, put 1 up and down in the middle, bunch it, and it's gonna go right next to that first grouping, and I'm gonna twist and tuck. Kind of fan all the ribbons out. I don't want any of them hiding. Rotate it, and we're gonna go to this next peg, grab 1 of each of this grouping, make an X, 1 middle, gather it. Now, when you're using a ribbon that has a picture where it goes all one direction on the ribbon, personally, it's my OCD, you don't have to listen, but I like to keep the pictures facing the same direction so that when the wreath is hung, half of it isn't upside down and half of it isn't right side up. It'll be all, like, no matter where you put it in, you always face it so it's facing the right direction. I hope that makes sense. You definitely don't have to do this. It probably doesn't matter a whole lot if you're not OCD. I'm gonna fan these all out. Look at this one's awesome too. This is a black velvet dot and it has like a black snowdrift edge. Rotate it. Now we're going to go back to that first grouping. Grab one of each. And like I said about the pictures, I want my ghost sitting on the wreath the same way as that ghost. So I'm going to kind of turn him and then twist him on. Tuck the pegs under. I'm going to fluff. And then we're going to go to the next grouping. And I'm going to continue doing this until every single peg has its ribbon. This is what your wreath should look like after you finish adding in all of the ribbons. How amazing is that? I could totally leave this just like this on my door and it would look amazing. Okay, so most of our kits, you get like one sign. And so let me set him aside for a second. All right, so if you're making a non-ghost wreath, our kits usually come with a sign, and we usually kind of off-center it like this and twist it on, and all the ribbon shows, or you can center it if you'd like. It's up to you. For this kit, since I have the plush, I'm going to be attaching his head up here, the lower end down here, and the sign is going to go in the middle. So I don't want to cover up all of the ribbon. So I am going to kind of pull the ribbon. I hope this makes sense. I'm pulling it towards the outer edge. So there's not as much wasted in the middle. I want as much ribbon to show as possible. So we're going to go around and pull the ribbon towards the outer edge. And again, you can still fluff more, like after all the attachments are on. It's just easier to start out by bringing it all to the outer edge. Okay, not sure if it made a huge difference, but I know I just don't want a bunch of beautiful ribbons hiding. Okay, so I am going to be attaching the sign first. How cute is that? And like I said, we have the 3M mounting squares on the back and some wire, and I'm just going to twist the wire just onto the actual wreath form. And I'm going to kind of do it somewhat sideways. I'm not going to do it perfectly straight. Just kind of barely turned, if that makes sense. You're going to take the wire and direct it towards the bottom of the wreath. And like I said, I'm just going to be twisting the wire around the metal wreath form underneath all the branches and ribbon. So, carefully, we're going to flip it over. And I'm going to find the wire and tie it on. And you want it pretty snug. You don't want this wobbling. So I'm just going to make a couple knots. And then with the extra wire, I just kind of tuck it. Or you can cut it off. Totally up to you. Alright, so that is how it looks so far. Tuck the little twine, the hanging rope, just in, or you can snip it off. Okay, so these attachments come with these little metal prongs. I'm just going to, obviously this one has 5. I don't think I'm going to need all 5 of them. But I'm just going to add him in while pushing the little metal prongs into the wreath. And they're black, so it's going to blend in and be so fun to try and find. And I'm going to try and center him with my sign. And then I'm not going to flip it over this time. I'm just going to reach them towards the back and just bend them around the metal frame. And I just feel the metal frame and I just kind of twist the metal prong around it. Oh my goodness, he's so cute. I'm hoping to order more of these types of wreath attachments for next year. They are so fun to work with. Okay, twist that one on. And I'm probably gonna do the bottom. And let's see. I probably will also twist on the top so his head doesn't flop forward. So he's not going anywhere. How cute is that? All right, so now we have his little tail. And this came with two, so I'm just gonna hook it onto the bottom ring and then twist. And I'm lining up where his body is so it looks like it's where it's supposed to be. Don't put it over here, pay attention. So, we'll get these into the back of the wreath. And I'm lifting up the sign a little bit so that it kind of goes under. You don't want to be able to see a gap because you want it to look like he's right behind the sign. This one I'm going to flip over easier. And I'm going to bend these over like to the sides, not directly down. Create some tension so it doesn't move. And you just want to make sure it's tight enough to where it's not going to go anywhere. Get all the mesh pieces off of him. And this is where, again, we're going to do one last quick fluff. I kind of curl out some of the ribbons. You don't want them just like flat. You want them kind of coming forward a little bit. It gives it some depth. Fan everything out. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. Now, all of the wreaths that we make for our YouTube videos, they are on sale on our website, shopdesignerdiy.com. So you could buy this very wreath if you'd like, if it's still available. Also, if you see one of our kits and you don't want to make it yourself, you could also purchase the kit and there's an option for us to make the wreath for you. These are great for gifts. We also offer gift cards if you want to give a gift card to someone and let them choose what they want. And then also while you're on our website, make sure to sign up for our emails because I like to send out coupons. So here is the finished product. It's hard because he's bigger than my screen, but woo! I'll try to upload a finished picture onto our Facebook. So you better follow us on there. But yeah, make sure to subscribe to our channel and I will see you next time.